Um, Chala,
Yeah.
I have written to you that I might need to leave
Yes, I've seen
earlier.
your
Is that
email,
okay?
and yeah, I've already informed them as well. I guess it should be okay.
Okay. So I'll do my best to stay, but if I'm insistently called from the other meeting, I might need to leave.
Okay.
So I think Barış was not here at the first. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry for that. I missed the rehearsal. Sorry.
O zaman
Nice to meet
selam
you
diyorum.
Selamlar. Memnun
Memnun
oldum bu arada. Tayfun,
Aynen.
Esra.
Tekrar hoş geldiniz.
Hoş
Biz
bulduk.
Barış Bey'le girişte bayağı bir konuştuk.
Evet.
Thank you very much for your all support. I will be in touch with you regarding our services, membership, and our events. And also Çağla Hanım will be in touch with the participants.
Evet.
Can we kick off?
Yeah, ready when you are.
Yeah.
They're going to count us down.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our webinar. This is a very important webinar, a very important subject that we're going to discuss today with some very learned and experienced speakers who will enlighten us in relation to the impact of technology and innovation in relation to recruitment. So BCCT is working with Michael Page, one of our long-standing members, and we put together this webinar to give you the benefit of the experience of both Michael Page and our speakers. So it'll be a very interesting discussion. As we've gone through COVID and as we come through, hopefully to the end of COVID in the not too distant future, I think the impact will have a major effect on the way that we operate in our business models and also our work-life balance. So there'll be lots of areas that we will be discussing and very interesting questions. I think we'll also be looking at how technology and innovation will play a part in what is the new normal. I mean, we're all talking about digital transition, and the webinar today is a fine example of that. We've all been doing webinars and other online digital meetings, so it's something that we are becoming familiar with, but it's not going to go away. It will continue, and it'll become more sophisticated. So, these are all the aspects that we will be discussing today. So I'm going to leave it to the experts. Jala Hanım will be introducing the speakers. I'm sure they'll give you their background and explain what their contribution is going to be. We have a list of questions which are all relevant. So I'm going to hand over to Jala to moderate and introduce the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Çağla Şengöz Altaş. I work for Page Group, Turkey, as an executive manager, and I will be the moderator of this webinar. Today, we are going to talk about the impact of technology and innovation on recruitment trends. And I would like to introduce our speakers to you. Yes. And firstly, we have Esra Eray with us, and she is the HR director of Vertiv Turkey. She covers Eastern Europe and Middle East and Africa. Hello, Esra.
Hi to all. Nice to meet you all and be part of this webinar.
Thank you. And we have Özgür Oktan with us. He is the founder of TR Logic. Hello, Özgür.
Hello everyone.
Hi, welcome. And we have Barış Coşkun with us. He is the head of agencies for emerging markets at Criteo. Hello, Barış, and welcome.
Hi, Chala. Thank you for the introduction. It's a great pleasure to be here.
It's our pleasure. Thank you. And we have Tayfun Eker with us. He is the co-founder of Sharpcake. Hello, Tayfun. Hello.
Hello there. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure to have you today. So today I'm going to start with the HR points. So I will have Esra with me there for HR questions. By the way, we will have an NR, and if you have any questions, we will have a Q&A session in the end. So hello, Esra again, and welcome.
Hi again. Hi again. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi. So my first question is about the working conditions. How will be the working conditions after COVID? Is there any plans for physical offices?
Okay, so before maybe jumping into the answers, I can just give a short introduction that I have been working in HR world for about now nearly, around 25 years. So you can guess my age. I have worked for several different technology companies in this period, and I'm with Vertiv for the last, well, more than 8 years now. We are in the middle of technology, I think, because we provide as a company critical infrastructure to other organizations, mostly working on data centers or systems infrastructure. So being at the center of such a change is also another experience that I could gain. I do not think that I can speak for on behalf of all of the HR people, but I can share with you my own experiences, what we go through in our organization, and also, the feeling and the content of the conversations that I got in my own circle of friends in the HR world. And I can say that it's pretty amazing in the last few months, maybe it's over a year and a half now, the change that we have been through. And it's not the change of the physical conditions only, or that is the second part, it's the mindset change, in my opinion, because I personally, what I thought a year and a half ago is nearly 180 degrees different than how I think and how I feel at the moment. Because, and if you just think about the traditional ways that we were using, a decade ago, it's totally a new world. And what amazes me more is that it's not a totally new world only for us. It is the same process. It is the same change all around the world at the same time. So I think it is both difficult, but on the other hand, quite advantageous for us because we're all going through this change everywhere. So we used to think that you had to be in a physical environment, you had to be visible, you had to express, you had to touch. And then now everything is virtual and you're less controlled, but on the other hand, in a way more controlled. So I can say that it's a total mindset from outside external factors into how to control internally yourself. So say that if this change gonna be permanent, I guess so. Maybe not 100%, but my feeling is more than 85% of it will stay as it is, because companies now involuntarily discovered new ways of doing things which are more efficient, less costly, and maybe also more rewarding people. And by more rewarding, I mean actually emotionally or mentally more rewarding, because now everyone can take control of their own responsibilities. Sometimes it might be overwhelming, but it is definitely more efficient for the organization. Not for every role, of course. I mean, if you're a shop attended, for example, this may not be the case for you, but for majority of roles, I can say that they are pretty much impacted. And will this change the physical planning? Yes, it will. I mean, we have started working on it, and I know that many other organizations as well. We're looking for more efficient places, physical places for some people, for some other reasons at the moment, with a total new design content. So it was a long answer, but required an introduction. Hope that I could answer what you were asking.
Yes, exactly. It was great. Thank you very much for your answer. And I would like to continue actually with you. And I have one question about the life balance topic. Since most of us working from home in these days, and how does your organization help you to manage the life balance during this period?
Yeah, it's well, actually, it has become a major challenge, something that we all longed for when we were coming to the office every day, turned out to be not so nice, actually, to be exposed to every day. So there are some people that we had to ban from coming to office when we saw that there was a health risk, actually. And before, you know, previously we were pulling people in a way to the offices on time, all the time. Now we're telling them, please do not come. And this time they want to come. So it is a challenge. It is something that we all learn on the go. On one hand, we have seen that, it just smashed the way how we thought previously. There is no micromanagement any longer, because you cannot, how can you micromanage somebody that you don't even see? So it's giving more responsibility, more task orientedness to the employees themselves. They have to think result oriented, and also how efficient they are. It's in their hands at the moment. But there is one side effect. We realize that it's difficult to draw the line sometimes for the employees, and it has become like a work life day, housework, homework, kids, requirements, job, and then there is no ending date, there is no start date, and people started mailing each other in the middle of midtime. And if you're working across the time zones, it's even more usual. And we have started seeing the negative part of this flexibility. So what we have done is that actually we had some kind of training, some type of sessions on mindfulness, and also self-disciplining, self-planning together with the managers, because managers should also know that just because somebody is at home and has a laptop, it does not mean that person needs to be 24 hours, ready to answer any mail or request. So there must be a planning. So this is how we try to help our employees. And for some of our employees who do not have the physical conditions at home, cannot really feel well working at home, we also continued offering them the office spaces. So it's a matter of balance. So in the future, in our organization, we have a new structure called smart working approach. So we will let it to the employees. Of course, it will be based on the requirements of the job. If you're a production employee, you have to be in the plant. But for the other roles, together with the managers and the employees themselves, we have decided how flexible they will be, and if they needed the office or not. But of course, one thing for sure, while we're doing it, we are also looking for a cost flat approach. I mean, it's not going to be that they will have an office both in the office and both at home. So they will have to choose one of them. And one more thing that I really would like to share with all of the participants is that how managers actually manage this situation creates an exceptional impact and efficiency. For example, I was also wondering what to do at the beginning of the process. A lot of calls that you have to join virtually, meetings all day. I'm at home. I'm a mother of two, by the way, and you know, and the kids are at home. Everyone is trying to do something online. Lot of requests, no helping. I had to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and join all the meetings. And in one of the meetings, I remember that our CHRO, who's based in Ohio, he told us that, you know, do not forget that we're people, and then actually doing something in our job. So if there is a doorbell ringing, you have to go and answer that door. Do not really mind about in what call you are. Tell the people that there is a doorbell, you have to go and answer. If a kid is asking something from you, that's a kid, for God's sake. I mean, he or she will, you know, it will always have the priority. So there is no problem telling to the people that there is another urgent need that you have to take care, and people will understand. So it was fun actually having all the meetings with dogs, cats, kids background, but it just added to the productivity and efficiency of our working.
Great contribution. Thank you very much. I guess most of us having same issues since we are working from home. Thank you very much for your answer again. And Esra, actually, I would like to continue with our survey. If you know that as Page Group, we have conducted a survey among over 1,200 managing directors, HR directors, CTOs in Spain, Portugal, Turkey, and etc. By the way, you can see our results about this survey on our website. And according to our study, for the key roles for 2021, our IT director, data analyst, IT business analyst, infrastructure manager, and CRM manager. And I'm wondering your comment about these key roles. What do you think in general?
Yeah. I mean, for our case, of course, we have been always in the IT and technology industry. So these roles were already important for us. But on the other hand, when I think about the customers that we serve, we can see this shift from the real life to a virtual life. So of course, look at the shopping experience. I mean, online shopping was present even before, but it wasn't used as this much. I mean, I wasn't using it as much as I do it now. I always prefer to go to the grocery shop myself, but now I do nearly 70% of my shopping, grocery shopping online. So there is an eventual shift there. So which would actually force all the businesses, and it can be the situation for many of the businesses. In retail, in service, in other, in finance, in banking as well. Even with my representative in the bank, we have this virtual calls now. So, and this will require the need to go for new roles that support this transition and shift. And yes, this will be the new reality and new focus point for all, as I said, majority of the organization, because this is the new channel that they have to build upon now.
Yes, exactly. It's the new channel, as you said that. Thank you very much. And I will have the last question to you, Esra. Actually, how will the companies react in order to match their digital transformation needs with their human resources approach? What could be the important points that companies need to be aware of?
Well, I think that, majority of the organizations have already started, and they're even about to close their transformation because, we changed our mindset, we changed our attitude, we changed our behaviors, we changed our expectations in a very short time frame. So probably we were a bit shocked at the moment, and then very quickly everyone adjusted all over the world. So it's not, I mean, there are a lot of examples that also make me proud. I mean, seeing a Turkish company in London serving people for their requests. So it's just everywhere, and it's just happening everywhere. So I think they either started long ago or they're about to complete. So But will it going to continue and expand? Probably yes. So so I don't know what to say, but in a short term, in a short time frame, that's all I can say.
It's
The-
okay.
These are the new trends, and it will just continue to be the center
Exactly. Yeah.
of the business.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution. Actually, it was great to have you with us today, and thank you for all the answers. So,
I thank you. Yeah, I thank you. And one more thing, I also personally believe that this shift will stay, and maybe not 100%, but 80%, in my opinion, will stay. I mean, we will continue with the new normal, and the new normal will be the normal, and it will just provide more opportunities both for the organizations and for the candidates as well. I mean, previously, just think of Turkey. Istanbul is the economical capital, and all the companies are nearly here, majority of them. So if you needed somebody, a workforce, you had to convince them to move to Istanbul, or they had to come to Istanbul. But now this is not the case. People can really live in other cities where the cost of life is lower. Maybe the happiness level is higher. So we will be able to actually have a wider span of candidate pool and workforce and resources. So I see it as a big chance for the economies and for the countries themselves, this shift to have a more equal spread of the population, of the work-life conditions as well. So it will be a major selling both for the companies because they might save, and it will be a major opportunity for the people who want to have their life in another city, and that's everywhere in the world actually, and still continue working for big and well-known corporations.
okay, thank you very much again. It was great to have you with us today. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So I would like to continue with the digital and technology side, and I have Özgür, Barış, and Tayfun with me there. Hello again.
Hello.
So my first question is going to be to all of you actually. It's about the digital transformation process. How do you evaluate the term of digital transformation? And from your point of view, how would you describe the progress there? Actually, I would like to start with Özgür, and then we can continue with Barış and Tayfun.
Okay, thanks, Çağla. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me in this webinar again. Let me introduce myself a little bit. My name is Özgür Oktan. I'm the founder and manager of TR Logic. With TR Logic, we help our customers with their digital transformation path in the topics like cloud transformation, real-time data, and financial securities. So personally, I have worked 15 years as a developer, software developer, middleware administrator, DevOps administrator, and solution architect in various companies. And it was before challenging myself as an entrepreneur. So let me add something. I would be very happy if I can give some keywords or hints to our attendees today. So please do not hesitate to contact me on LinkedIn. I'm telling everyone. And now I'm going to the question, Çağla. As everybody and Esra mentioned, I would like to start with the situation we are living nowadays. More than a year, we are having a pandemic situation, and I hope everyone is healthy and well with their loved ones. It's important because the most important thing is the health nowadays, I think. As we mentioned, all pandemic and started with pandemic, I can start answering the question with this concept because as we are here, we are having an online webinar here now. And we are having a lot of online meetings nowadays from our homes or from our offices. And this is the transformation. Transformation of working styles and dealing with business. It has been in a transformation, and it has a huge speed nowadays. So, and as Esra mentioned, new normal has been spoken with everyone. And yes, I agree with Esra also. New normal will be the normal, most probably. So we will be continuing to working from our homes, I think, and things will be going like that. Or maybe sometimes we will be at offices, but most of us will be working from home, especially in our technology provider companies, software developers, because they do not need an office. We did not need an office. We just need a coffee, a computer to work, and we can work from all over the world, as you know. So this is the mindset transformation also. And digital transformation is not a different thing. Digital transformation is starts with mindset transformation, I think. It's a matter of mindset. And that means that it means that people evolution brings digital transformation. Digitalization is not a different thing without people mindset. So digital transformation is starts with people and goes on to the success or failure with people. The first aspect I can say is this. And again, personally, I have been a lot of projects in my work time in various companies. Some of these companies were finance companies. Some of them were technology provider companies. But we all been in projects of digital transformation. Digital transformation is not born today. It's not a new thing. It has been with us, I think, 20 or 30 years, but it accelerated a lot the last year. And I mean, digital transformation is an effort that every business has been doing till today. But it is a must nowadays because it doesn't mean that the organization will be successful or failure. It is a must, I mean. So as the first aspect, I mentioned that the first aspect is human, people, mindset. The second aspect is business, the core thing. Digital transformation is done with businesses for businesses. The second important part in digital transformation is the target, I think. The target which the business try to solve. If an organization doesn't have any targets while starting their digital transformation initiative, it won't be successful. There must be an aim. So I think we don't forget, we must not forget, it's a process. It's not a thing that it is done and finished. It's a process, it's an ongoing process. So the first aspect was human, the second aspect was business targets, and the third important figure in the digitalization, I think, is the customer for organizations or businesses, because customer needs and requests are very important for the businesses to be alive, to survive. And the third important part is digital transformation must be done to help customers, to make them happy, to satisfy them. For an explanation, for a definition, I can tell that I can go on with obligations for the businesses, and we can try to have an explanation or definition of digital transformation after this, I think. You know, in the competitive nature of the market, any business or any organization must have their processes digitalized, the first obligation. Must create a business culture, I think, with their employees and with their customers for the digitalization. And must serve their customers using all the channels of the technology. This is an obligation also. And must gain speed using and developing technology. It's very important. And the most important part, I think, as I mentioned, the first aspect of the digital transformation, it is the people effect and mindset effect. The most important thing is education of the employees of the organizations. This is very important, I think. So the definition from these obligations, we can have the definition. Digital transformation is all the activities businesses or organizations take to gain speed on their processes, to reach and make their customers happy, and to make their employee happy and satisfied, and to evolve against the change. This is digital transformation, I think.
Thank you.
And is this enough, or I can go on with
if you like to continue, you can continue.
Yes, I can continue, because this was the definition of this digital transformation, but I can mention some the importance or the picture of digital transformation. I think for the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, everybody knows that in every layer, I think technology is now included in every layer. If we look at those pyramids, we can find a technology part in every layer, in every need. So this is very important. This means that people are living with technology nowadays. And digital transformation affected mostly and importantly the economy. Economical needs or economy, I think, it's a well-known thing. Economy is the basis of the culture or social life. So affecting the economy affects everything in the life. I may give some samples here about economical changes, effects of the digital transformation which we are living or which we are having. Everybody knows the coins. Digital currencies are changing. Coins are a big topic now globally, and we don't know where it's going. It's not known. It's the strange part. So banks evolved. Everybody knows. Banks are forced by technology to be open. Everybody remembers banks were very snob organizations before these years, but now they are very friendly. They are very open to the customer because they have to. So tech redefined finance and economy. It's a fact. So fintech companies are rising, and they are threatening the banks and the other economical figures. And we know the loan applying or getting loans is very easy or smooth from mobile or something. And there are lending ways are invented peer-to-peer lending, buy now, pay later concepts. These are very important for the social life of the people. And these are all based on digital transformation. We don't forget it. Payment and receiving services are changed. And all of the markets, as we know, we were all home and we all use e-commerce. Even we are having our bread, we used mobile applications. And it's very important, I think. As we know, it won't finish. It will accelerate from now on, I think. So the other concept of digital transformation, the most important concept I would mention is the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities will change the world. It's a certain thing now, but we don't know how it will change or what we will, where we will end. It's a question. You know, there are scientists that warns technologists to be careful about playing with artificial intelligence. It's a question that we don't know where it will end. It's a very philosophical problem, I think.
Yeah.
So, and the keyword of digital transformation is, I want to underline, is disruption.
Thank you.
Will be done, is being done. Organizations and businesses must choose. Will they disrupt themselves, or any other company or startup will disrupt themselves? A choice.
Okay.
And it will, be okay. Is time?
Actually, we are a bit short of time as well, and I would like to get Barış and Tayfun's opinion as well on digital transformation, if it's okay for you.
No, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
And Barış and Tayfun, I would like to get your opinion as well on that.
Sure. Thank you, Çağla. To introduce me briefly, Barış, and in digital marketing ecosystem for more than 12 years. And to start with, I couldn't agree more with Esra and also Özgür, because like it starts with people, definitely. And also this pandemic just made the organization mandatory to think about the, let's say, possible ways to adapt to this new normal. And on our side, I can give another example, which was related with the previous question, but we had the different terms, new terms, including Zoom burnouts, you know, like because of the endless meetings back and forth. So what the company has to do is that like creating a silent day for each week in order to kind of like ease the pain, I would say, on the employees, in order to feel themselves really kind of like relaxed in terms of going back and forth between those meetings and Zoom calls. So this is the thing that made us think about as a kind of like a senior manager perspective. On the second part, like the digital transformation question, I think that like the key element for this digital transformation is understanding the potential of our technology. And that doesn't necessarily mean that asking how much faster can we do things the same way. It means asking that like, what is our technology really capable of? And how can we adapt our business and processes to make the most of our technology investments? This is the key question I would like to ask when it comes to digital transformation within the companies. And I can give the example from Netflix, as you can recall, like before that, like people were choosing the movies to rent by going to stores and combing through the shelves, and like in order to find something that looked good. But now the libraries of digital content are served up on personal devices, complete with recommendations and reviews based on our preferences as users. So the streaming subscription-based content directly to people's televisions, computers, mobile devices is an obvious disruption, as also Özgür mentioned, to the brick and mortar video rental business. So embracing the streaming also let Netflix looking at what else it could do with their current technology that is available to them. So that also led to innovations like content recommendations or including artificial intelligence that defines the new content that would be recommended to the users. And similarly, digital transformations have reshaped how companies approach customer services. You know, like the old model was to wait for customers to come and find you, whether in person or by calling some numbers, etc. But with the rise of the social media, it has really changed the service, much like it's changed the advertising, marketing, and even the customer service itself. So with the progressive companies, I would say, they embrace this social media as a chance to extend their service offerings by meeting customers on their platforms of choice, rather than just pushing them in their own platforms. So making these call centers and in-store service desks run more efficiently with this digital technology is kind of also providing new opportunities, including cost effectiveness as well. So I think this kind of real transformation comes when you look at all available technologies and consider how adapting the business that you have to these technologies can give customers a better experience. So as Özgür mentioned, it starts with people internally and externally, including the customer itself. And as you can also, let's say, imagine for furthermore, this digital transformation encourages the businesses to reconsider everything, including traditional ideas of teams and departments. So it was a good example from finance, like the banks, that they drastically changed the way that they're operating. So this is why, like, it's important to adapt to the nature of this transformation. And one last thing is that, like, I think the most important skill, not just individually, but in a kind of corporate level, is the adaptation for this kind of transformation that we live in. This is the thing that I can comment on. I wanted to keep it short in order to sake of the time.
Thank you very much, Barış. Thank you.
Sure.
And also, Tayfun, I would like to get your opinion as well about that.
Right. So thank you. Hi, everyone again. A brief about myself. My name is Tayfun. I am co-founder of Sharpcake, a digital marketing agency, digital marketing company working globally in 12 markets, around over 50 people. Before I'm in digital marketing and advertising business, by the way, for about 15 years. I was also a founding partners of the Turkey's largest digital marketing company, which is name is Modern. Then we sold our company to Publicis Group, which is a giant leading network agency around the world. So I am not an HR and recruitment guy, but at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur and as a kind of, going through from these merger and acquisitions, global networks, local agencies, those kind of stuff, I may have a few opinions about in terms of the HR, because I think the HR and recruitment is a process for an entrepreneur, is an always on process. I mean, which job or whatever you do, I think you're always a kind of recruiter. You have to be. So I will share some maybe tips for you. Starting with the digital transformation, I want to keep it short a little bit. Actually, it's a buzzword. I find it, everybody talks about it. You can see it everywhere. To my observations, I think a few companies do real stuff in that phase, because at the end of the day, digital transformation is not just going to digital. Let's go social media. Let's make our e-commerce websites. It's not that. It's beyond that. It's a whole process and framework and way of doing. To me, there is three aspects of it. First of all is about the product and services. I mean, you can digitalize your offerings. This is one part of it. The second part of it is about operating models, business models, way of doing, working models, process internally, your HR models, how you recruit people, how you search people, how you find them, how you engage with them, and how you keep communication and conversation with them in, let's say, digital platforms. Or is it just LinkedIn? Are people on LinkedIn, or are maybe they are using a lot of different social platforms which the company misses, those kind of stuff, and also the processes. And the third aspect of the transformation to me is the communication part of it. Since the digital media landscape has tremendously changed, there are huge opportunities in engaging and contacting with your audiences. And for a company, let's say the candidate is also a consumer, is also a potential user. So the boundaries are dissolving. You have to keep up with this media landscape change, I guess. These are the three aspects. And to me, there are ingredients of the digital transformation. First is technology, of course, as we all mention and we all say. The second one is resources, skill sets, technology, partners, those kind of stuff and everything. And the third part is culture. To me, since I've witnessed in my own companies, culture is the most foundational value of this whole process. I mean, because you can, let's say, acquire technology. You can acquire, let's say, a skill set. You can acquire the most genius group of people of the world, if you pay enough, I don't know, or if you convince them, but you cannot inject a culture into your organization. So if you cannot inject that culture to make that people collaborate, to make that people disrupt things, to make the board of directors be committed to the plans and be with you in all the, because transformation is a form of pain, by the way. In all forms of transformation in the nature, in the world, in our earth, if there's a transformation, there's also pain. So are you committed to that pain? So to me, it's not just about finding the right resources and talents. It's about focusing on our culture. And I think at this stage, the HR people has a tremendous effect, I guess. From a marketer guy, and I'm a creative person, I lead creative business, but I think in that sense, you guys make huge impact. That's my initial thoughts about this transformation.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, I have one more question about e-commerce business to Barış, actually, since we know that Kritev has been very familiar with e-commerce companies, and in Turkey, it has been developed as far as we've seen. And what do you think about, these market opportunities, Barış?
Yeah, sure. The thing is that in Kritev, we have been working more than 750 clients, I mean the advertiser side in Turkey. So covering the majority of the industry, I would say, and we can see the huge spike with the development of this pandemic. Before that, we were seeing a kind of increase year over year around 20% or 25% in the overall retail industry. But with this COVID-19 impact, I also say that, as Esra mentioned before, the spending habits on the kind of age groups drastically changed. Normally, as we call Gen Z and millennials, were the ones that leading the overall investment in this e-commerce industry. Once this pandemic hit, the people just stuck within their homes, and there is nothing to just redirect the overall needs on the people, including grocery shopping or any kind of furniture buying, etc., to online. And also it drew a significant inclusion on the credit cards within the ecosystem, I would say. And then with the impact of this adaptation, we see a huge increase on the overall mobile marketing investments as well, which is aligned with the consumer journey, starting from their mobile phones. And they are mostly kind of using the first step as a zero moment of truth on their mobile phones, searching for the products and getting the kind of information, and then continuing to shopping journey, even ending within the app more frequently, I would say. So let's say after the pandemic, I'm not sure that it will be kind of having this increase as we see for the last year, but with the kind of changing habits on the other age groups, it's kind of going to be stayed as a steady growth, mostly on the retailer part. But on the other side, within the telecom, finance, and automotive industries, they are also changing the way that they address to their customers and communicate within each channel. So they are kind of trying to use their own CRM data in order to unify the users that they want to target within the whole ecosystem. And what I would like to suggest to the brands that they want to also adapt to this new normal is that once these cookieless times are going to be happening, and also with the new update on the iOS part, which is covering the majority part of the mobile ecosystem, it's better to really define the strategy aligned with the first party data that they will be collecting from their customers, and unify them within the other sources that they have. It can be brick and mortar stores. It can be different, let's say, sources that they collect the user data from. So this will be a huge opportunity for the future investments on the overall mobile marketing and digital marketing assets, I would say.
Thank you very much, Barış. And
My
I will
pleasure.
ask the last question, and I would like to get your few words about the talent acquisition part. Actually, how can the existing profile professionals acquire the talent of tomorrow? What's your opinion on that? And I would like to start with Tayfun, actually. Tayfun, what do you think about this?
Okay, thank you for the question. I mean, for the talent, in this disruptive world, I guess, we usually look at the talents as soft skills, let's say hard skills, technical skills, those kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, no, all people are, we have to find a way to combine both to me, because at the end of the day, there are the soft skills, for example, collaboration. In the digital front transformation phase, in each task, you require different skill sets in a project. For example, I see some questions in the panel, but I think we will not have time to maybe answer that. But just have an idea. For example, if you are going to bring a kind of innovation to your, let's say, talent seeking or searching mechanism inside the company, then you have to brief it to a partner company. You have to work with your people. We have to work with your management. We work with your audiences. I mean, there are software company in it, maybe the communication company in it, maybe HR consulting company in it. I mean, it's a whole world of collaboration, and it's the same for, of course, for all companies. For example, my company is doing. We are producing creatives for digital landscapes, for digital forms. Let's say for social media, websites, blogs, those kind of stuff, lots of videos. It's a bit complicated, and I think each organization products and services are becoming more complicated. So you have to work together. Let's say for in a creative project, you work with a copywriter, a strategist, a motion designer, a project manager, an account manager, as a data and analytics manager. So 10 of different people working on a single project. So whether be it a very technical person, or if there's a very strong person in the soft skills, but at the end of the day, you should collaborate. For the collaboration, soft skills people learn the technical aspect and capabilities of the technology, and the hard skills people should have know how to collaborate with them. So I think the culture shift behind these skill sets are the most important thing. And lastly, I think the management commitment for the organization is very important. I see that lots of the HR people, or not say HR people, organizations say, for example, my clients call me and say, Tayfun, is there a very well-known person who could handle this and this and this? And I say, it's not a quick one. I mean, it's not just putting a one person knows CRM, because he cannot do anything. He cannot change the whole culture and organization, because it relates to everything. So I mean, in a business acumen, a generalist approach is also essential, I think, for near those technical skills. That is my point of view.
Thank you very much. Great answer. And Barış and Özgür, would you like to add anything to Tayfun, since we have some
Yes,
last few minutes?
Yes, Çağla, I can add a short explanation about my recruitment policy. I have some principles on recruiting people in the company. I think character comes first. It's the most important part which I'm dealing with. Honesty is the best policy. I still believe that. And this is the most important part, the character part. Then the second one, for our domain, especially for software or computer technologies, the candidate must have a scientific thinking, analytic thinking, and that's enough. So it depends if we recruit a new graduate or an experienced people, but character comes first, and honesty is the best policy. This is our policy.
Thank you very much, Özgür. Thank you. Any words from Barış?
Yeah, sure. Like I agree as well. Like also in our company, we have the togetherness, openness, values that really we are living with. And I think like Özgür mentioned before, like you can definitely teach someone the technical skill set for sure, but you can't really teach the attitude because like it's kind of like breaking the bias. So I believe the most important thing to really prioritize when having this recruitment in place is that like the character itself, the attitude on the candidates, and the willingness to cooperate, because as also Tayfun mentioned, you have to be really agile and adapt to the complex organizations in order to really succeed and proceed within the industry that you operate in. So this is why like these values also apply, I think, for the most of the industries, or maybe all. The other thing is that like, as mentioned before, everything starts with people. So better value people in the organization. This is for sure the thing.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you to all of you, by the way. Thank you for all the answers. Actually, we have a few questions as well from our participants. I guess this question is for Esra. How will we work, live, and thrive in the post-pandemic future? What's the top 3 unknown facts that we may face and should take precautions? And also it continues, what will be the impact of COVID-19 with work from home concept, great leveler in terms of gender equality and diversity?
Wow, so many topics to cover in one question. So let me, if I can summarize and paraphrase a bit. What I see from where I sit, globally, on a global level, and I think this might be a common approach shared by other HR professionals or professionals in general, is that this change happened without being asked. Nobody asked for this change, but this is the nature sometimes, and we had to adapt. And it was a very quick adaptation all over the world. And all we can see is that maybe not with these restrictions, but it will stay for good. So, so we have to think about how we will be managing it. And in my organization, as I told, that we have foreseen this, we just focused on the benefits, and we just worked on how we can manage both the efficiency and the requirements of the people, and at the end, the organization, of course. So I cannot say that we will take every opportunity because this is so cost friendly. But we will do our best to kind of satisfy all of the requirements and needs of all the people involved in it, including the business itself. For diversity and inclusion, I don't know if we should tie this to this COVID-19 pandemic, because it has always been an issue, and it will continue to be an issue where we need to proactively take some measures on it, because otherwise it will always be not enough representations in some underprivileged groups.
Okay, thank you very much.
One thing I can tell about recruitment as well is that finally, I mean, this change happened. There are pros and cons, good things and bad things, but always focus on the good part, and you know, select and work with the people who can really see the good parts of it and make advantage out of it.
Thank you very much, Esra. Yeah, we have another question, and it's for the digital transformation side. Do you think that digital transformation is possible to apply to all sectors, and will be some sectors that will be cut off? So maybe Barış or Tayfun, would you like to, or Özgür? would you like
I
to
also
answer?
mentioned,
Yeah.
yeah, I also mentioned in my explanation that like definitely like maybe 90% or more of the businesses, industries would be eligible to apply the digital transformation on their side with the existing technologies that they have. But on the other hand, some of the industries or subsectors, I would say, definitely have a negative impact and maybe will be bankrupted with this kind of like lack of adaptation to this digital transformation. But more or less, I would say the skills on the adaptation will lead to success on the industries with this transformation.
Can I come in there just with a question?
Yeah.
I've been listening to this very interesting discussion, and I mean, I think it's critical that whatever business you're in, you know, you have to look at your supply chain, and you know, you've got to be part of that ecosystem within your supply chain. And if your supply chain is moving, you know, very quickly towards, you know, more digital, then you've got to, you know, be able to follow that. Otherwise, you'll get left behind. And I think it's you know, every organization has to, you know, review their capabilities at this particular time to ensure that they've got the right skill sets. Because you know, this thing, you know, digital transition moves very quickly. Technology moves very quickly, and you know, innovation moves very quickly. So you've got to stay, you know, slightly ahead of the curve. You know, if you get behind the curve, you know, you probably could have problems. So you know, you've got to reassess just where you are in terms of your capability, and also have a close look at your supply chain to see just how that is transforming.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you to all of you. There were great inputs, great insights, and it was great to have you today with us. And I would like to say thank you again.
Thank you.
Çağla.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much. And thank you for the participants for their participation.
Exactly. Yeah, we say thank you to them as well. And Chris, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all of you, particularly you, Çağla, for moderating. I think you did a wonderful job. And you know, to our speakers who've definitely shared some, you know, very important insights and advice to, you know, where we will find ourselves as we come out of COVID and what the changes will be. So you know, this is going to be an ongoing discussion. You know, it's not something that, you know, starts and finishes. You know, as we know with technology, you know, there's something new every day. So we will be continuing these discussions, and as I say, we'll be bringing our speakers back again, I'm sure, in the very near future. So thank you very much to all of you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
It
Nice
was
to
a
meet you all.
pleasure.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank
Thank
you.
you again.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.